just an absolute incredible person to work with, Juliana Chyzhova. Hello, Juliana.
Hey, Vanelli. Hey, everyone. It's so great to be here.
All right, so you and I went over your presentation before, and I can't wait for people to see this. And it's funny because one of our viewers in the chat said it was the first time they heard about the engineers with the creative calibration. And we take it for granted because we're so used to the engineers working with the creative side. And he said he's excited to hear that it's phenomenal that we do that. So I'm going to turn it over to you. How about you wow us?
Okay. Yeah. So today, I'm going to share more about what product marketing team does at Skylum. So so I will start just explaining what we are doing, and then I will follow with the story about one of our projects we've done a year ago, Luminar Photo Camp, as one of the community projects the team has initiated. So product marketing team at Skylum actually sits between marketing and product, and whatever happens with you since you started using Luminar AI is on us. So we do a bunch of projects. We work with the product team on an onboarding. We work with Luminar Marketplace. We launched Luminar X membership as an additional service for all Luminar creatives, and we also work with Luminar AI Insiders, where we collaborate with you guys, with Robert, Vanelli, Angela, and we're also managing a referral program, and we've done Luminar Photo Camp. So basically, we handle all the communication and services for Luminar AI people, and that's what we do. I actually seen a question in the chat that if I'm Juliana, that you've been getting emails from. Yeah, it's not like I write each one of them, but my team does, and yeah, that's me. So I'll share my contacts later in this presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. So today I want to, and there was this great question about collaboration between creatives and product, and that's actually what our team does as well. As a part of working on Marketplace, we work with our ambassadors team, and we work with our own team of content creators, of retouchers, professional colorists, to create new templates and new products, new skies for Luminar AI, and expanding the variety of additional tools you can use to get the most out of your photos. Okay, so and today I wanted to talk more about Luminar Photo Camp and share the story of this project. And while the world is slowly getting back to normal, and while I feel that soon we'll be able to finally travel again, finally do photography trips again, I wanted to tell how important it is to take photography trips, to do photography workshops, to level up your photography, and to really expand your portfolio, and to find the community of like-minded people to do it together. Because I mean, you can go on a family trip, right? Take your camera with you, but you will never get enough time. It's really difficult to get your family to wake up at 4 a.m. to meet the sunrise, or go out at 2 a.m. to do astrophotography. So I really encourage everyone, at least once in a lifetime, if you can, just join a photography workshop or go on just on a photography trip. You'll see how you'll see an incredible boost to your skills, to your hobby, and it will be just for us. Everything started when we visited a photography camp of our friends from Photopills at Minorca. Photopills is this amazing app that allows you to plan your photo shoot, and so it was one of the most life-changing experience. And we decided that we want to do something similar for our community. So right before the lockdown, we were able to visit Iceland with 36 Luminar AI people. And so, yeah, like 6 amazing tutors, like Daniel Corden, Albert Rose joined us as tutors. And I want to share like the most, so once you go to Iceland, and Iceland is definitely a bucket list destination for everyone. I want you to be able to use this presentation possibly somewhere in the future, especially in case you go to Iceland in the winter, just as a reference of where to go and what you should take with you. So here is a list of the locations which are like must to visit in Iceland in winter. So they're arranged in an order, they appear on your way. So you're starting in Reykjavik for sure, but then you're going through different waterfalls. Then you're going to the Black Sand Beach. All of these photos were taken during that trip. And there's the Dyrhjalli Peninsula. Here you can see it. It's not so popular point, but it's amazing. You can see this natural arc and stormy sea. It's amazing. And then you're going to Wick Village, Glacier Lagoon, which is just incredible. You won't see it in summer. It's only, you can only see it in winter. And Diamond Beach and Westerhorn, like all the wonders, of winter nature, you'll be able to see. And so when getting prepared for such a trip, it's really, really important to go well prepared. And wanted to share a gear list with you. So, when you're going on, and actually you can use it for any kind of photography trip you are going to. So first, take your camera with you, but take your buddies. It's you don't want to invest a lot of money in your photography trip, and if something happens to your camera, it will be a disaster. So we actually lost 3 cameras on our very first day in Iceland. On the Black Sand Beach, on Rainy Sierra, they have the sneaky waves. So the waves are coming, they're usually like steady, coming at the same, pace. And then there is just this one wave that is coming, much forward than any other before. And we lost a couple of cameras, but people prepared, and they had their second cameras with them. And I think it's really saved the trip. So
I think what you're doing right now is phenomenal, because again, if you spend a lot of money in travel and then you get there without a plan, you just wasted all your time and the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so like getting prepared is 90% of your success. Yeah. So also you should, you can take like 3 main lenses that will cover all the topics you want to, you might want to shoot, like tele, standard zoom, and ultra wide angle. And, really reliable tripod and the head for it, and better a couple of heads if that's possible, because people lose it all the time. I lose it from time to time. So just again, be prepared, take something extra if you can, and you'll be, you'll remember any trip as a really nice experience. Also, filters are important because you want to do some long exposure, especially with waterfalls in Iceland or with the sea. You would really, really want to do that. And while you can borrow from somebody, other people also want to do the same thing. So just bring everything you can. And obviously Luminar AI.
Yeah, it's not like you just stop at a store while you're there and pick up a bunch of stuff. So this is a great checklist.
Yeah, I hope you'll be able to use it afterward for any kind of trip. So yeah. And I also want to share today my workflow on some of these images in Luminar AI, because what we've been doing, and that was also really important, we've been doing Luminar classes during the trip, and it's so important to have like somebody else who can give a second opinion on our images, or suggest, or sometimes you just don't know how to get where you want to. And, with your peers, you can collaborate and really improve your image and, get where you want to. So,
And Juliana, I can't attest,
sharing this
when we had our Skylum yearly retreat, well, the end of the year, where our Skylum, our staff went to Egypt. And it was so funny watching so many of the engineers, support team, product team, everyone with cameras or cell phones taking pictures, having a blast. So it was just so cool that you guys are living and breathing the product.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Skylum team also went on this trip. I mean, it's really important that we all are into photography. I mean, somebody more, somebody less. And photography is something that inspires all the team. Yeah, so we try to, we use the product ourselves. I use Luminar for my photography all the time. I've been using Lightroom before I joined Skylum, and right now Luminar is my go-to tool for 100% of my images. So yeah, it's I feel we're all kind of we really support creative in here, and we try to encourage. For example, sometimes somebody joins the team, they're not that great at photography, so we spend some time on onboarding them and teaching them about photography. And Richard is actually doing an excellent job getting people on board with that and explaining photography really easily. So as easy as Luminar allows everyone to start into photography, right, without spending hours and hours and hours on education. You can just start playing with your images, and with time you get better. So in the same way Richard explains photography, really easy. And
well, no, and Julian, just me starting 20 plus years ago, photography could get complicated, and then all of a sudden I was learning Photoshop. So I'm learning a graphic arts program, not a photography program. It was for graphic artists. And believe it or not, I called support at Adobe so much, they recognized my voice. And the guy would say, Vanelli, for the love of God, this is it does not work hotline, not a how-to hotline. And he said, you can't call us to ask us how to do something, pick up books. And then he introduced me to people here in Florida. But you're right, Luminar is so easy to learn that you can spend more time on your photography and not have to worry about editing, complicated editing, and still get professional results.
Absolutely. I agree with you here, 100%. So let me share Luminar. Yeah, okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of the images I took at Iceland. So at Westerhorn, I noticed this really neat texture on the ground. So when when arriving at location, scouting it for the first time, I usually try to, I believe everyone, I try to find something unique, and I haven't really seen such textures on other images, so I decided it might be interesting exploring it. So, but right now the image is not really great. So what I usually do, I start with templates and I see where they can take me. So I go with the ones that our ambassadors create or our team created, and they're here in the purchased collection, and I have quite a few of them. So for this one, I want to try this epic travel collection. Not all of them will work, but this is too bright and too dramatic as for my. And I will probably start here, and then I go to edit. And usually what I do next is I try to see where Accent AI will bring me. For me, Accent AI, when we first launched it and ever since, was a huge deal breaker, because whenever I edit the image, I usually try to go, all the way up here, see, what's hidden in there. I never stay here. I never stay at 100%, but I try to see where it can bring me. I will, move it slightly down. Sky enhancer is usually, a go-to tool. I don't want the sky to be lost in this image. So it's pretty much okay, but we see a huge lens distortion over here. So I would probably go to optics and do distortion corrections. It doesn't really, it's not ideal. So I will adjust it a little bit more with advanced settings. And yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's much better right now. And what I will do next, I will just go from tool to tool and see what else I can do. The next step would definitely be light. I usually see if I would want to have a more cool look or a more warm look. So here, I really like this cold wintry look I get. And then I will also, usually work with structure. So we see it's part of the template, right? This is why it's adjusted, but I will usually try to add a bit more to bring out the textures in the image. And so we actually see how dramatically it's already improved. And I only spent like less than, 3 minutes on this image. And also, like, I will usually try dehaze for every for every landscape image, mostly every landscape image I do. And sometimes when I apply a tool and I don't really see a difference, or I try to decide whether I want to keep it or not, I try to disable it and see how image changes. So I mean, you can zoom it in and see, how it affects mountains, but in this case, I will probably go without it. So, and then I really also like dramatic tool, like just a little bit, usually, so it allowed me to do this slightly desaturated and really dramatic look, very structured. And I think I will probably stay here with this image. So like 4 minutes, right? 4 minutes, and we went from here to here. So the next image I want to share with you is this one. So this is a very famous church in Wick, and we've had this amazing sunset, and it was storming, and we've had this dark clouds with rain and sleet coming all over us. But there was this point of time when sun peeked through the clouds, and we were able to capture it. So here, I will just go ahead. I tried a couple of templates. They didn't really work for me. So what I did next is I went straight to edit. Again, started with Accent AI. So how beautiful, how beautiful the sky is, but I don't really like what Accent AI is doing at the bottom of the image. So I will go back to like 24, 25, and we'll bring out the sky with Sky Enhancer, right? So like it only affects sky and it doesn't affect foreground, which works for me here. Then I will go to light, right? And I will usually bring highlights a bit lower. We'll try to bring out shadows just to reveal the foreground. So I actually like how it looks, but with this image, I played a bit and I really wanted to do a slightly warmer look. You see how the whole image changes when we just adjust the temperature. And after that, one thing I usually try with images is going to mood and trying some LUTs, which we have pre-installed. Like Jeremy, I really like that we have this live preview option and we are able to quickly see how the image will look like. So I will just scroll through them and see if anything catches my eye. And in this case, I think like this is something that I would want to do. So, and you can adjust the amount, like go all the way up, or just slightly add a touch of LUT, just contrast or saturation. And in here, I would probably also not turning like matter. I also love this tool. It's like allows us, it creates this kind of Instagramic look and feel, like just adding a bit of contrast. And so this is where I probably will end, but also like this, I don't really like this course and this person. So you should probably start with it, but I usually edit the image and see if I want to in the end fine polish it. And so like I will just probably remove this person. Okay, I have one of the zoom windows in here, and I will also try to remove the scars, right? And I have to remove it with and erase.
Now, by the way, did you call that a beach? Is that a beach?
So here's one.
So in Florida, we have
Is
beaches.
it cold? Is it 80 degrees there? Are you cold and shivering and going to die?
Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, this is what people, call the beach. So yeah. Yeah. So
I'll remove the reflection too.
Yeah. Yeah. So here is this nice reflection just to be deleted. And I mean, you can play with it further, but I'm pretty happy with the image, how it turned out. So like from this to this, really, really fast. And I actually got a couple of requested from people I know, just to even get this printed. I don't usually print my images, so this was huge for me. Like first time, somebody asks you to get a print with your images. I think it's huge. Go for it. It was like, so this is why this image is really important for me. Yeah. So we're pretty short on time, so I would probably won't go with my Aurora image, but just so you know, in this trip we were able to capture Aurora, and it was very last day. Everyone had to grab taxis and drive outside of Reykjavik just to capture this slight activity, but it was and just for a chance of so I really, really, really want to inspire everyone with at least once in a lifetime. We're actually planning on doing another trip next year when we have more people back and it's more safe to travel. Yeah.
That's awesome. And that was a great shot you did, and yes, be very proud. I can see that printed on like a nice metallic paper, or even on like an art rag paper on that would be really nice. Great job. Thank you so much for sharing your. So what you said, we're thinking of doing another trip next year to Iceland.
Yeah. So we've done our very first right before the lockdown. And when we see how well it was received, we wanted to do more of photography trips around the world, like smaller ones, bigger ones, because we have such an amazing team of ambassadors who can always be tutors, and we will be able not only to teach photography but also to teach Luminar, and this is like a perfect combination. But everything locked down, and we've had to put that on hold. And right now, again, when we are really slowly but getting back to normal, we've been thinking about doing one more of such camps in Iceland, because in Iceland we have our amazing partner Iceland Tours and Yuri Bilogorski, who can help us out, and we'll be 100% sure about safety and the quality of such trip. So we've been thinking about March of 2026 for doing one more trip.
Wow, that's incredible. And it's funny because one of the first times I met you, we were at a convention, and it was so cool to see Dima and Alex and Ivan. These are all the core designers teaching people Luminar. And a gentleman came over to me and said, "Wow, that guy really knows his stuff." And I said, "I should hope so." He's one of the coders. So it's really neat, like you said, collaboration and working as a team. Thank you.
Excellent.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to Rich Harrington.
Yep. And before you leave, Juliana, I appreciate you sharing all these resources with folks, as well as some great tips there on editing. Anything that you're really excited about, as you're seeing a lot of changes, Luminar keeps getting better and new things happen. I know you can't tell folks about what exactly is coming next, but is there anything you're just excited about that you're seeing happening, or recent changes that you think are important for people to pay attention to?
So I'm really excited about Bokeh AI when it's going to be released. So this is a tool I'm waiting for the most, because I feel we've been really missing a functionality like that in Luminar, and it will really help everyone who's working with portraits a lot, because it will be working with images of people, like all kind of like front portraits or environmental portraits. So I really feel this will be a game changer.
Awesome. And you, of all
So
people,
that's
since it's your job to show the product and explain the product, know how good it is. So we're excited for that too. And we don't have an exact date yet, folks, but a lot of you have been asking through the day. You've heard us mention Bokeh AI a few times. So you could tell from the excitement we're sharing that it's getting really close. So we think you guys are going to enjoy that. Well, Juliana, thank you so much. It's so late there, but we really appreciate you coming in today. And we've just had folks from literally all over the world today, both here and presenting. And that's awesome when we can all come together and share our creativity. So thank you again, Juliana. One person in the chat said, "Is that the Juliana who I get emails from?" I'm like, yes, Juliana sends some of those emails too. That's part of her job. But she also does a lot of other great stuff of, making sure that, what Luminar does, and also just, some of the great improvements you've seen with all the artists in the store, and making sure that Luminar is meeting all these needs is a big part of her role. So thank you, Juliana, for joining us today.
Yeah. It was an honor to speak here. Thank you so much, guys. Feel free to reach out in case you have any questions. Bye.
Excellent. Thank you, Kate. Take care.